Morning, Ashwin.
Good
Morning,
morning, Pawan.
Dipesh. Yeah, good
Hey,
morning.
Pawan.
Nice to see you guys. How is everything going, Ashwin?
Yeah, all good. Things started back. Um,
You are
yeah,
located
I
in
was.
Canada or US?
No, I am in Pennsylvania,
Oh, okay.
Hershey.
Which city? Uh,
Hershey,
okay.
the Hershey chocolates.
I don't know much in that area.
Yeah, we get this Hershey chocolates, right?
Oh yeah, Hershey chocolates. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hear.
I'm in that town only. So I work in the hospital. I work for Penn State, but in the hospital which was found by the Hershey.
Ah,
Yeah.
wow.
So we get funding from that chocolate industry.
Okay. Do you get free chocolates or no?
No, no. I mean, we get discounted ones, but yeah,
Ah, that's good.
yeah,
Good
yeah,
to
yeah.
know. Hello, Deepesh.
Hello, Pawan. Hey, Ashwin. Hey,
Hi, Dipesh.
hey. Pawan, this coming week I have a interview.
Oh,
Awesome.
great.
So
Awesome.
happy. Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, many
Thank you for that.
congratulations. It is a first round or presentation?
It's yeah. So presentation is the first round, and they have previous one more round, like with the senior director or something, someone.
You
It's,
had with
it's, it's
hiring
the,
manager probably.
it was not hiring manager.
Mm.
It was some person who is involved in the workflow. So
Mm-hmm.
she contacted me on LinkedIn,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of talked for 30-40 minutes with her, and she was happy with my all answers and said, okay, let's have presentation since your profile looks good, and let's see. So this company is in Babylon in San Francisco. I'm not sure exactly the city name, but it's very close to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And not a big company. It's startup, but it's not very small also, maybe around 20 people.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's great.
hopefully that's a good experience anyway, whatever way it
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
No, no, don't worry. Don't expect results. Otherwise, it gets like anxious mode. And so it just take as experience.
Yes.
Uh, watch out. Just kind of observing things and going
Mm,
through it. If it
mhm.
works out, good, well and good. It doesn't work out, anyways. It doesn't
Anyway,
matter.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm so happy that people are reaching out and that's what
yeah.
you know.
I think the way I've made CV based on like your suggestions, seems like it's working. So I mean,
Yeah, yeah. I mean
that's how we see.
that's how people perceive, right? It
Yeah,
just
yeah,
matter of doing things right and and appropriately, like
exactly.
because
But I think
everybody has content.
yeah,
Yeah,
where I think it's also hectic, like
yeah.
working
It is
on a
hectic.
job. Oh my God,
Oh,
it's
I can echo. I but
yeah.
it is. I tell you, um, you will discover a lot of things. Like can you work under pressure, under like can you make decisions for yourself like fast,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes it is very hard and a lot of emotional, like sometimes they will ask weird questions and then you have to respond in few days, and then that's where what helps and what helped
Mm-hmm.
me all the job search time, and is to have at least one or two people with whom you can share and get feedback,
Yeah.
like at
Yeah.
least talk once in a week, like for 30 minutes, and
Totally
just
agree.
share what happened over whole week. And uh, and and I had fortunately two people who were like,
Yeah.
at least one person I had who was working in Sanofi, and he was very kind to just listen to me and then tell, okay, Pawan, no, maybe you should say this, maybe you should try this, maybe you
Mm-hmm.
should not wait, maybe you should not say this to this company, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So that kind of support is very very helpful, and it goes a long way. It goes very long way, like, so
Mm-hmm.
that's what I was saying.
But you have any, because since I reached to that point, is there any specific question that, because they sometimes ask like, do you have any question? Do you have any questions? So is there any common questions like that we need to ask to the uh, interviewer?
I think, yeah, we covered during interview preparation session. If you go back to the slides,
Like team size and yeah.
yeah, I think you don't ask that during presentation time, but um, that you can ask after, because then after presentation they will have one to one with you.
Mm-hmm. They have one to, yeah, in that they will
That's
ask.
where. So I think on the slide of our session had all the questions
Okay.
you're supposed to ask. So you can. I mean, almost we have covered comprehensively there,
Hmm.
so you don't have to worry like what
Yeah.
to ask. And there are, if you go to resources
Uh-huh.
links which is there in the seat, then it will have more questions,
More
like.
questions.
And best way is to, you know, what I used to do, I used to just write down in my diary like
Mm-hmm.
list of 20 questions to ask, and I will
Exactly.
ask just 2 3 questions to anyone,
Yeah.
like,
Mm.
um, of course it has to be pertinent with your past discussion. So if you
Mm-hmm.
can reference back and want clarification,
Yeah.
they appreciate that you are on board, because sometimes I used to talk to in one day 4 people, so I have like I I was literally what I'm going to ask this person. so so I used to just sit outside the building near that pond, and just
Yeah.
put my headphones, sit there for 4 hours,
Yeah.
and just talking, and so try to avoid doing that, because it messed up sometime, like,
Mm.
um, they can sense that you're not focused, you're like your mind is thinking next one, okay, another 30 minutes, I have to go now, I can discuss.
It
So
it
yeah.
happens with me like last week, like back to back recruiter. Oh my God. And like I need to kind of make a schedule. Okay, 10 to 10:30, maybe not on 10:30, maybe 10:45 or 11 to next.
Yeah, so try to also try to say that you're working, so
Mm,
you cannot have time like
mm,
anytime.
mm.
So best is, I used to do it after 3 p.m.
Okay.
So after 3 p.m. is okay, because then you finished your work,
Finish.
or you prepared the whole day, and
Yeah.
at 3 or I used to keep early morning like 8 a.m. So that they understand that you are professional, you are managing your
Yeah.
priorities, you're not just
Yeah.
kind of eating the time and space for your current job,
Mm.
right?
That's true. Mhm.
So those are some psychological
Yes.
adjustment.
Yes.
So hi Arjun. Arjun is going for interview, visa interview next week.
Oh,
Yeah, hi everyone. Hi. Yeah.
Yeah.
so which visa, Arjun? It is
Oh, this is the O1 visa.
one
So
visa.
yeah. This is my consulate interview is on Tuesday. So
Okay.
yesterday I was just asking
Right.
Pavan and
Yeah.
and yeah, it's yeah.
Okay. I think we are 6 minute extra, and I'm not sure if people are gonna join, because this is too far. Salary negotiation and offer that a lot of people are not there. But yeah, let's get started. So today is, I think, almost going to be our last discussion. because after this there is like decision making part. So that is like, that is more of personal, right? It's hard to say that who is doing do what and where gonna work. So I think I'll keep it open, and if anyone has that, let me, it's recording, right? Yeah, let, so if anybody has any help needed, like while negotiation or your decision making, then I think I can talk them personally in future, one to one, and help out. That way it will be more productive. So I did not prepare slide myself today. I got some slides from MIT postdoctoral office on negotiation, and also UCSF, and I think they have a lot of good content. So we will just go through that and discuss out the topic. So let me open my slides. Okay. So I'm just thinking where to start it. Okay, let's start with MIT. Do you see my slide, the PDF?
I just see half.
Okay, hold on. I'm just shifting that. Now you see?
No, it's the same.
Hold on. I know why. Now? Yeah, so as I said, we'll touch base some from here, some from UCSF for his presentation. And I think these people have good content which we are supposed to discuss. So let's go. Yeah, so welcome everyone for session today. And this is, I think, the most important and final part of your process. So here, job offer is like, is not just, I just wanted to say, not just your salary, but it's a broad kind of umbrella of things you talk with the recruiter or hiring manager. And it's very important to understand with when you should talk, with whom you should talk, and how you should talk and discuss. This is a kind of negotiation, and negotiation is often hard part of any process in anywhere. So basically, I think that we'll be covering when and why you should negotiate, understanding various type of offers, what is the ethical consideration in negotiation, and what and how to negotiate, and what to do before, after, and during negotiation process. So most of time, employers expect candidates to negotiate, and if one does not negotiate, then probably they are going to land up with less money, because there is always 10 to 20% scope of negotiation. Everybody keeps, like, it's like bargaining in local market, right? So they always say higher price or lower price, and negotiation, or that's called bargaining. But here it's more sophisticated of negotiation, right? But the sad part is that only 25%, as per the research, social research, that 25% only people kind of want to negotiate. Rest, they accept the offer as it is. So which means they lose a lot of money and a lot of opportunity to talk about the job. And why? I mean, we understand, we are aware of it, that why we don't negotiate, right? At the researcher especially, we never negotiated, nor in your master's, PhD, or postdoc, right? So if I have never negotiated, then it's very hard even to think of negotiation, what to about doing it, right? So one of the reason we fear is that fear of conflict, right? like we fear that it may lead to disliking by the next person. That's how academia is kind of structured. A fear of our PI's power, that if I ask, then he may not give me authorship or something, or I ask for more money, or I may lose the postdoc opportunity. That's how we are conditioned, somehow, because of system. And then fear of, like, I don't know what to negotiate, right? Fear of negotiating poorly, and probably that's why people don't want to negotiate. So this is about MIT. We'll skip that. So negotiating ethics, there is like something I don't, and there are something like do's. So don't, that if you're not interested in certain jobs, then you should not unnecessarily go into negotiation. So basically, it's not just don't waste time, and it's, if you need like extra time to defer making decision, then you should not ask for extra time. You have to just kind of drag it, right, for some time, because you have another offer which may be coming in. So if you request extra time, they know that you are trying to push. So directly, if you just say, okay, I need extra time, they may not be liking it. But if you share the reason that why you need a more time, but that reason does not have to be that you are saying that I have another interview offer or something, because otherwise they think that you're just comparing, and which is correct. We have to compare, because even they compare, but that's how it is, right? If you say it, they don't want to compete with anyone much, employers in their side, especially if your profile is not something like they don't have anyone, or you are not something very unique. If you're very unique and they need you, then probably they may, but otherwise most of the time they don't. Also, in negotiation, one has to be very genuine. Like, remember that you're negotiating with the next person, who is like also a person. So they do understand, they have been through process, they have been talking with hundreds of people over years, right? So don't think that they don't know what you are doing, and what they have no idea about things, because they have idea about everything. They have dealt with so many cases. So try to be genuine. And I think this is about the students, so we will not go, but so this is where it starts. The way the process starts in offer, that you receive an offer, right? So how do you receive the offer in industry is different than in postdoc. So in industry, you don't receive confirmation over written. So first offer comes oral. So they will, most of the time they will call you, or have a conference call with you, and they will orally explain you that this is the offer, all the components, and then they will give you time to think about it and get back to them about oral offer, and then they will send you a written offer after that. So most time negotiation goes, sometimes it goes between oral offer and written before you receive written offer. A lot of negotiation about the offer which was presented orally, but it can also happen after written negotiation, like after you get a written, and then you can say that I would be happy to so we'll go through it, then how do you communicate. But this is where it starts. So in the moment they say that we are ready to offer you, then you have to express enthusiasm, right? Even if they are saying less amount of money. Like for example, if they're saying, oh, we'll offer you 70K, okay, you have to still, you want to express enthusiasm, you don't want to give negative feeling, right? And you need to obtain all the information, not just base salary, but benefits, especially what you're gonna do, responsibility and authority, start date, um, and also you can agree on response date when you want to respond, right? So most important thing in negotiation, basically you are gonna be speaking things, right? And we coming from non-English background, sometime the communication could be like we want to say something but they think something else, right? So you have to be, so which means that you have to probably prepare yourself, right? You have to prepare that what I'm speaking and whether that makes sense, right? So you have to understand that when you get a news that they're going to offer, you're surprised or disappointed or excited, or most of the time you're excited, but overexcitement can kill the negotiation process, right? Like you're excited and you're not thinking anything. You are basically trying to be in silos, and I will keep it hidden. I will not talk to anyone till the time I sign off. But as I was saying, that during this whole offer negotiation, especially, you need a buddy. Of course, you need a buddy throughout the process, but especially at this stage where the emotions go high, like you excited, and many things you may gloss over, and I'll tell you what are those things, like which most of time people gloss over and not appreciate. And once you make this is a decision making time, so once you make the decision you can't go back, correct it. So that's why if you have someone who is listening, who is kind of mentoring or guiding, helps you in this process, and if you do rightly, then you can make 20,000, 10,000, or 10-20% extra money than what you would have got it, right? Or you may negotiate your conditions. So most of the time negotiation happens on the phone or in person. Now is virtual meeting, right? Email people avoid generally, but you can ask them how they want to negotiate, right? What is the process there, right? Because sometimes if they confirm you, suppose over email or phone call, that we are offering you, and out of excitement you have a question, you went ahead and drafted an email and sent it to them. Thank you for offer, I have this question. But maybe they're not planning to talk to you over email. They prefer phone call. So when you get first time to news about offer, then you can ask this question, that are we going to continue our discussion over phone or email? What is a proper channel at your end, right? So that you know how to communicate, because it is lot of things to do with official versus non-official communication. So that's important. Other thing, never lie or misrepresent things, because if I become inconsistent what I'm saying during negotiation process, then people don't trust, and most of time they stop communicating and they are not going to hire you, because that's very critical part, right? And everybody, that's like a nerve point. So be consistent what you're saying, and if you are getting inconsistent, then clarify that why did things are changing. So first thing first comes, as in any process, even during negotiation, that you need to completely understand about company, right? And position there, like what position you're going for in company. And if, suppose, for example, if I want to ask you something, right? If I want to ask, suppose, something, and if I don't give you any reason for asking that thing, then you may not even consider it, right? What about approving it? But if I tell you that, hey, I want this, and because I have this for this particular thing, right? So basically, about the position, why you are a very best fit for the position, and what you can bring onto the table for the company, and how well its position is meeting your goals. So it's a both way process, right? It's not that मैं सबसे अच्छा हूँ, मेरे को ले लो, ऐसा नहीं है कि ये भी बोलना है कि आई ऑल्सो वॉन्ट टू गेट इन टू इट, राइट? सो इट्स नॉट वन वे प्रोसेस. So if, because that is the part of that you are interested and they want to continue negotiation. If they realize that you are talking very straight and one way, then they feel that you have other better offer and you're not going to anyways accept the offer. So they are not going to continue discussing. So you have to so that you need it, and I have some example how do you say it from other slide I'll show you. So what employer is looking for, right? They're looking for a right person, and this is purely professional decision, right? They don't know you 10-20 days or month before, and they will not know you after the discussion is over. So they're looking for right person which can solve the problems, deliver contributions, right? And introduce a skill set attribute they need, and should be positive impact on to the bottom line, right? And so if you, when you're asking or negotiating, if you bring all these things in discussion, that why you are a person who is problem solver, why your experience and skill set is going to contribute their immediate contribution to the team, right? How your skill set is very critical for the position, and how your experience is also very important, right? Because that's where you negotiate, right? So when you're drafting your regions, you should try to keep on this side, not that I need money, I think that I should get this, but why do you think is very important, right? So essentially what I was saying, that you will not be getting an offer based on what you want and what you made in the past. At least in US it's not like that. In India they ask for you past salary slip and how much you were making, but in US it's illegal to ask for that. Just a minute. Wait. Yeah, good. Nagarangi? No. Yeah. So especially I was saying that they don't give you a better offer because you want it or you made it in the past, especially in foreign countries. And in India, second one is important, they try to look into your salary history. But here you have to prove your worth, and those are the pointers to prove your worth. So many times they ask you some weird questions, right? Sometimes they will ask you salary before they made an offer, and then how do you respond to those, right? So you have couple of options when you are getting such questions before they made an offer. They're asking how much you want, right? So you can say that you can differ, saying that I realize that salary is an important issue, but I need to understand more about job before I can value it. Can you tell me more about the question about the job role and all that, right? Other, you can differ that you can say that I expect that company would be fair to compensate for my education experience, so I'm not much worried about salary. Let's talk about something else. So you're differing, you're just avoiding that thing. You may inquire also, right? Like, my research shows that a student from here and degree in this paid in this range, does that fit within your range, right? Also you can inquire what is the salary range in the company for this position, in at the present in the company, because they will be having people, right? And if all fails, give a wide range, that based on this you can say I need 90, 120, 150, whatever. Like, if they just want to get a number, then the large range is better, right? So this approach helps. So the one of the main component in your offer is the base salary. Um, so most of time base salary is not, they don't offer less, very less. They are like in midway. So most of time companies either they have a fix, like what you call pay scale for certain positions, and they can't go within beyond that range to keep the parity among their employees. And sometimes if it is a startup, then you have a lot of scope because they don't have any history of compensating or hiring people. So then you can negotiate more there. And another thing is in big companies that they rely on their base salary amount is based on research with their competitors, so they don't change too much in the base salary, not like a large scale. So you have to understand that if you're whether you're talking to a big company or mid-level or startup, depending on that you have power or scope, I would say, not power but a scope to negotiate the salary, right? And you have to do some research. I can say to you, like moment you get a first call and you present your interview, like the presentation, after that you should start thinking of numbers, like, and there are a couple of resources you can go to. I used to do Indeed and Glassdoor is the best resource to know the range, and the big companies are located there. There are hundreds of employees reported their salaries. Ensure that you are looking at right kind of information, because there could be confusing, because research scientist with bioinformatics and other experience may get more than the research scientist in the bench, right? So you have to be in detail looking into like what I'm looking at, what numbers, and you can say that these information will help you to boost your confidence when you're talking about this salary. And there are also, as per different different cities, in US will have different cost of living, so you will have different level of salary in those range in that area, right? So you have to check there also, like cost. I think Glassdoor does not do it, but there are other websites who give you a salary range for position adjusted to the cost of living in specific places. um, Also, you can, if you know someone, for example, I was saying I had someone whom I know, like I was talking throughout my process as a friend. So that person, I used to say everything, including what I'm going to get, what I'm talking. So that person was experienced, and he or she can tell you that whether this is a good range or not. You should ask more, or if they have any internal contact in the company, they can ask that how flexible company is negotiating in what part of the offer, because sometimes there are preferences what they can negotiate and what not. So having if you have these three resources, most of time you're good, like to go. If you know based on your research, then you also look for adjusted adjusted with city location, and someone if you know working in industry, may not be same company, maybe different company, but more or less the overall salary is not too much different across the companies. Also the nature of the industry you're going is very important, and so those things are good to know and be aware of. Second part of your offer is a sign-in bonus, and I was never aware of this when I was kind of going through the process. Um, so as you see, it's called sign-on bonus. Sign means you basically it pushes you to sign off the offer, right? So what they offer, so why they offer it, right? So basically this is the way. So if they cannot change the salary of base salary, then there is a scope for giving you more money, one time money, to compete with other people. So, and this is common in industry, they can give you 10-15,000 extra via sign in bonus than base salary, right? So these are the regions. I'm not gonna read much, but you can read yourself. As you were saying, like low, if they are giving lower average salary, then they can give you this sign-on bonus. They can also help you to relocation, but keep your relocation separate than sign-in bonus or sign-on bonus, because you don't want to mix up. Relocation has to be separate policy, and it should not get mixed up with your offer. um, but relocation does have effect that how much you are going to get offered, because relocation is a huge cost to the company. It's around 40-50,000 if you're moving like multiple cities across, and they cover not just you but your wife, your children, and your car, your home, your everything. I'll tell you what they cover. So, and also when you see the offer, you look for, you sign in bonus, you look for termination clauses, because many times if you leave the job within 1 or 2 year, basically 1 year is common, but sometimes they tell you 2 year, then you have to pay back whole money. So you have to be watching out that they are not trying to trap you there based on this money. So if it is 2 year, you don't want to get into that, because you don't want to get trapped. And most of the time they do it just to secure that candidate that does not leave the job. 1 year is common. So if 1 year, that if you leave within 1 year, then you may have to pay, that's fine. But 2 year is too much. Then the third major thing in your offer is stock options. So some of you may be familiar that stocks are something like, which is getting traded, and every company is listed on stock almost. Startups are sometime not, sometime they are. uh, and startups often they give you low base salary, but they give you large option to take the stocks of the company, because their stocks are not very popular. And in future there is a chance that if they company grows and they launch something, their stocks price goes high, then you can quickly go make a lot of money, right? Many times it is a part of normal company practice to give you stocks certain amount. It may be $10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, depending upon how much they're offering you, and you can negotiate your stocks. For example, if they tell you initially that we will offer you $10,000 stocks, and then if you see that there is no scope of negotiation for base salary and sign on bonus, then you can say, can you increase my stocks to 20,000, right? So that is very common. So there are different type of stocks. There are called restricted stocks and there are called options. Restricted are, you need authorization from the company to sell it, and you should not get into that. So they try to give you restricted most of the time, but you should not take it. You should take open option, so where you can sell as per your desire. So that is vested for 25% over 4 years. So suppose if you get $20,000 stock now while joining the job, you can redeem it 5,000 every year for 4 years. So that's how it works. So basically you're getting top of your base salary, you're getting additional $5,000 or $10,000 every year as a money to redeem the stocks, right? And maybe this is too much for now, as of now, but if you are in offer and you really want any help, as I said, you can reach out to me. So most important thing that what you should know what you want, right? Many times people are confused, like what exactly I am looking for, like because mostly especially for first time transition, right? It's really hard to know where I should focus more. Should I just take the job? Should I go into this field? This field looks good, future is very bright. Or should I take a lot of negotiation energy and kind of ensure that I'm getting enough money, right? And does this company location is important? Does this company is important? You have to basically prioritize what do you want at this point in time, and what do you think about what do you want in future also, right? And how this offer can help you. So you have to really decide that what are the other parts of the position, job, and the job description, the profile, the location, the position you're getting hired, the team structure you're going to get in, how it is going to help you in future, even if you're paid little less, but you can make later more money, right? For example, I'll tell you this one example. In my case, right, um, I was very sure that I would prefer going into big companies. Okay, I was very much clear that I want to go into big companies because even if I am paid less, a little bit, 10%, but the profile I'm going to build from there, I can go into, after that, I go into mid-level company easily on a higher position and better salary after working for a couple of years, right? Because suppose if you have a tag of Apple and Google, you may have made less money for 1-2 years, but then you are switching the job, you are going to get a better job, better salary within 2 years, right? As compared to a small company where they're not too much in the market, and if you're trying to change that, they may give you good amount of money, but when you're trying to change the job, you will have to struggle finding a better position, right? In a big company, because big companies are big companies, right? So and also I was looking for location. I was very sure I want to go certain places where I don't have to worry about options of the job, right? So in St. Louis the options are limited, we know it, but in Boston or in New York or in California, right, or there is a lot of job opportunities even in San Diego or Los Angeles, San Francisco. So if you're present in these biotech hubs, your opportunities will be higher in future. You may be making 10% less money, 20%, but your options in future are going to be wide as compared to if you are in St. Louis or in any other, Virginia somewhere. You may not have a lot of opportunity for networking, learning and all that thing, right? So these things you have to factor in, which is not written on the offer, but also you have to think about the cost of living. For example, I knew New York is super costly, San Francisco is crazy costly, um, and I had offer from San Francisco, New York, and San Diego. I preferred San Diego because I knew it's a peaceful city. Cost of living is at least 20-30% lesser than other cities. So, and Illumina was a good company related to other companies who are competitive. So that's how you make your decision, right? Um, so I think a lot on that. So you have to think all sides of your life and how where you're going, right, and how this offer is going to help you there. Uh, and this is, I think, their survey that what is the most important factor affecting decision making. Job offer for bachelors, I think it's not applicable for us. So most of time if you are in early career, you are looking for more of learning training, so they are looking for job content, creative challenging work, fit culture, environment, all that, right? But for, if you see, it is for, if you masters, then salary little comes up, right? Very important. I think they don't have for PhDs and postdoc, but I can tell you that salary becomes very important at certain point, like not if too important, but at least top 5 criteria, right? So these are the pointers. Reason I'm showing you this, that these are the checklist you can have, right, while evaluating the offer. Is job content is my satisfaction, if the creative, the work environment is challenging and creative, whether there is opportunity for career advancement, whether there opportunity to make an impact, one of my top choices, or I fit, or location is sponsor, visa, a lot of things, right? Job flexibility. This will be kind of a checklist to understand and compare the job offers. And if not compare, if you at least understand all different aspect of the job offer, right? Um, okay, let's not get into. So what candidate is expecting, right? You are expecting a salary, you are expecting bonus, which I was just saying, stocks, bonus. Also, you should be asking. They generally tell you that what is a percent every year increment in the salary. That is most of time fixed for the bigger companies, and that comes in the form of direct money increase in your salary or as a stocks. Most of time you get extra stocks as a bonus. Whether they are supporting a relocation and what are the components they are supporting a relocation. Relocation is could be very costly if you're not negotiating properly. Like for example, they may give you lump sum money and they say you that you manage your negotiation. Uh, then the relocation is taxable. So if you give you $30,000, then you have to pay taxes, and then you have to ensure that they support the taxes too. They are paying taxes too. You are not supposed to pay the taxes, right? Because that's the relocation is their task, and you are going to get a lot of headache while planning the relocation. Most of the time big companies have their relocation partners and they help you to relocate everything, your house item, your pay for your breaking the lease, pay for your internet breaking, pay for your car moving, everything they pay, like finding house the new location, that is all comes under relocation. And I think we can discuss once you have offer and any of you have. So and then you should also ask about flexible timing, what are the professional development. Sponsorship is almost discussed, but sponsorship also costs company around $20,000, and they consider it as a part of package. They don't tell you, but they don't pay you that much. And they also, you can also inquire sponsoring the green card. So for example, if they're not ready to negotiate anything else, then you at the end you can say, all right, so can we can I get a sponsorship on my green card application in this position? So you can ask for that. It's okay to ask for it, right? Because that's also $15,000-$20,000 money. Also, you need a sponsors in legally to sponsor you, right? There are certain things they don't negotiate too much, which is like dental vision. It's fixed for 1K contribution, tuition reimbursement. Tuition fee, you can suppose if you plan to do MBA or something in future, you can say that does company support me for those things, right? That's every company, I think they pay to $10,000 every year for you if you want to use your money for your career development, right? But FSA and all this is fixed. So as I was saying, there are some items which are not negotiable, like your dental, vision, disability insurance, medical, 401k retirement program, PTO, paid time off. So paid time off is a new concept coming in, where generally we used to have dedicated amount of days for every type of leave we take, but this paid time off is like you can take as number of leaves you want. There is no capping and there is no classification of the type of leave you are taking. So that's called PTO, or no, that's called FTO, flexi time off. Sorry, FTO. So flexible time off, you can take time off as per your requirement with your discussion with your manager. So you should clarify that, whether it is what kind of leave options are there, whether it is fixed number of leave or it is flexi time off, FTO. So as you were saying, these things are you can negotiate, but there are certain things you can't negotiate. And within these things which you can negotiate, every company has the things which you can negotiate and things you cannot. So you can ask the HR or the person who is negotiating with you that what are the things which is negotiable and what are the things are non-negotiable, and they will be very happy to tell you that these things we negotiate, these things we don't negotiate. And it's very important to know that, so that you don't annoy the person next to you. And you may not know, but they sometime during that discussion they go, it can go wrong and they misunderstood, and then they stop talking and they look for another candidate. A lot of things go wrong here. So asking and clarification that before you start discussion, what are things which are negotiable in the offer and what are not, is very important. So you don't want to sign off or agree to anything while discussing. You just want to discuss. So don't agree. If they ask you, are you okay with this? Do you agree with this? You can always say, okay, let me think about it and get back to you. Okay, so you don't agree with anything orally or phone on the written. This is about agreement, so I'm not this is okay. This is a case study I was saying. So for example, for a job on the left side you have 80,000 salary, another base salary is 75,000, right? But if you look at other things, like for example in this base, the one example on the left side, they charge you for parking, so you're paying around $840 per year. They have more, you have to pay $100 more than here, which is paying $80, right? There is no vision insurance, you have to pay for it, so you're paying for it. No bonus, no match. So basically what happens, this is 401k match, which you may not be aware. So there is something called in the postdoc, after I think 2 year or sometime maybe initially, whatever amount of money you contribute to your retirement account, suppose if I contribute $100, my university or employer pays additional $50 to match my contribution, right? So same thing happens in industry, but in different way. There are two type of matching. One is like you pay $100, and then whatever amount you're paying, first 5 or 10%, they pay half of it, right? So they are paying you $20 every pay slip, $30 of your matching contribution, right? And at the end of the year, if you are over the whole year, if you contributed within the limit of certain amount which they have, then they match. Suppose if you over the year, whole year, you contributed $2,000 and the limit was $8,000, $10,000, so they can match you that $7,000-8,000 to reach you to the limit. So you contributed less, the company matched, discretionary match it's called. They pay you 8,000 extra at the end of the year. So those things has to be planned, and we are not, generally most of the time we are not aware, and the only way is to read, ask. So I went into detail, but this is very important money. It's pre-tax most of the time, and you can save money there. And if you compare, for example, here the base salary was 5,000 less, but there is a free parking, there is a dental bonus, and other opportunities, right? And the company also matches salary and also did the discretionary match. So if you do math, like here 80,000 equals to 77,000 because you are spending money. Here you are earning more. Base was 75, but you are making $83,000, right? So we have to evaluate the package comprehensively, not just about base salary, but about other things which are there. And we often miss it because we don't have time to think how much I'm going to pay premium, for my dental, vision, parking, bonus, right? 401k, we all take this as a granted because we never thought about it during our last job. But in the next job, these are the things you can, learn and be informed and then make decision, right? And these all information is available on their website. They have, you can ask the information from them, what exactly is the amount I have to pay. This is all the part of discussion and negotiation and asking questions, so they appreciate it that you are aware of it, right? So starting salary matters both way, right? It matters, and sometimes it doesn't matter because you want to get into industry job, and then maybe after 2 years you can negotiate, right, in next job or something, right? So it's very, very much personal, so I won't go much into detail. I was saying, I think I covered cost of living, relocation, startup cost. This is about, I think, the startup cost is for faculty position. Okay, wait. Okay, let me open another slide which has nice examples for you. Okay, this slide, this one presentation, the one is purely designed for postdocs, so you'll like it. This is from Bill from UCSF postdoctoral career office. So I wanted to show you. Yeah, this is this is how you get questions. Let me go to presentation mode, full screen. Oh man, no, this is too much. Okay. So this is the most dreaded interview question. So if we were to move forward to the job offer stage, what would be your salary requirement, right? This is very critical. Once you say something, you can't change much. So that's why we have to either avoid or defer. The first thing, you don't quote any actual figure. So if they insist, you quote a range, right? As I said. And these are some example how you articulate your thoughts and how do you convey. So initially you say, I'm very interested in this position, state why, and if you move forward offer, I simply hope that an offer would be made for salary amount that is competitive for my ground experience, right? If pressed more figure, well, for me the most important thing is to be able to accept the position where I can name factors, and these issues are more critical to me than exact salary figure. But from what research I have done, able to do, this is something in this range, and most of these major employer are giving this much, right, with my experience. So you can articulate, you can use these sentences to articulate your answer, and don't speak too much. If you speak too much, just keep it like prepared practice, and you're gonna talk that much only. So I used to keep pointers like why I want this much amount. So even if I'm saying a range, I'm justifying that why my experience. So I used to say I have industry experience, I worked in this area over these years, and I bring all these things on the table, right? So you should always reason out. So when they make it, I was saying, you will have all these slides. So basically you listen, first of all, listen carefully, and listening is very important, I'll tell you, because if you miss listening something and if you respond to something inappropriately, or you misunderstood, and you did not, you were not able to say what they are saying, or kind of respond to it, then they may feel that you are either not attentive or not interested. So you always ask clarification. So if you can say, can you explain a little bit more about that, because I missed listening properly, your voice was not clear, or whatever reason you can give to again listen and get clarified. Also, do not accept any offer during phone calls. Okay, so as I said, you can say that I'll think about it, can you give me more information and all that. Always ask. So when you get the news, then I say, okay, if you're talking, I felt that there was a great potential fit when I was visiting last week. I appreciate you have done to coordinate this process, this, right? Would be possible to send everything you have just described to me in quick email. So basically, if they're making you phone offer on voice offer, then you can say that, can you send me a note saying that, because it's hard to remember everything, and you can say that, can you just give me just a note about, I'm not asking an offer letter on the paper or a letterhead, but just to have information. And so that is, I will to organize my questions, and I might have, and I'll respond you, right, in a specific days. Be a specific, because that's most critical time, process step, and they don't want you, if you don't say a specific date, you're not talking general, then they realize that you're just trying to delay. So you have to be, I'll respond to you by this date, this time. Be a specific, so that they are sure that you're really interested into job. And I think we covered these. Yeah, I think so. You have to consider that you are at entry level, and many times we just want to get into job, but there is always, I said, scope for negotiation of certain things. Yeah, let's just going through. Yes, I think this I just wanted to discuss one more point. So when you get an offer, um, you you cannot keep on asking new things every time. So you have to ask everything at one time, right? I need to discuss this, because that way what happens, there is a process. So generally HR discusses with you offer, HR goes back to your hiring manager, and hiring manager goes to another bigger person who is making decision there for financing, right? If you keep on asking one thing at a time, then it's annoying for a person to go ask one thing at a time in the back end, right? And then they understand that you're not very serious about it. So it's always good practice to ask everything at one time. And if, especially everything significant one, but if something is confusing and you can misunderstand, you can always ask. But most of time, one time asking is helpful, because they go once, make the decision, come back, right? um, so that, so if you will be able to ask at one time. If you do all those research, you understand all that thing, right? And then you list out your questions for them, and you can ask them what is negotiable, what not, what can you think about it, can you think about it, can you think about it, can we have this more, can we have less, or whatever. So always note down things what you're gonna ask. Ask a specific things, not general. um, and try to summarize. So suppose if you had a discussion for 30 minutes, and then at the end try to summarize that you will get back to me on these points, I will get back to you on these points. So it's like more of a collaborative work rather than bossy kind of situation. So which means that you are interested in the position, that you are saying, like, you're looking for next step. You're saying, okay, we discussed these, so I would, I hope that you will get back to me about this, and they will tell you a specific date and time when they will gonna get back to you. And you can also say that I'll get back to you after, once you give me this information, I'll get you back as soon as possible, right? And you should always appreciate their time, helping and all that. They are what they are doing their job. They are not, it's not their money. The person who is negotiating with you is not, they are not paying from their pocket. They are just facilitating the process, right? So you should appreciate and make collaborative work discussion rather than one versus other, right? And that's art, like, that's kind of probably talking and understanding the person who you're talking to, right? um, so there is a step one, like I was saying, decide that if you really want this job. If you don't want, don't waste time. Just don't do negotiation to boost your ego, because it will not be helpful. Sometime in the process they will come to know. And I think this is type of, yeah, I think we covered. Yeah, so that's how you transition. Initial discussion, then you say that I have number of questions, and these questions run the government of salary issues to start date, and I have outlined two main point along with couple of clarification. Basically, how do you word out your sentence? And you can always ask, they want to discuss now or they want to discuss later, preferably via email or something. So always these things help you to kind of lead the discussion, right? Um, and if you do that, they think that you're professional, you're aware, and it's really helpful for them to go through the process. Because as a fresher, many times we don't know how to communicate, right? We get panicked, like, if I don't take decision by tonight, probably tomorrow they may not give me offer, they may decline me, and all that. All psychological fear comes when things are on plate, right? So that's how you can calculate that salary. I have done some information this area. So you basically, I like the way they say it. Say, I'll show you how. I There was a, so they say, uh, here. Yeah, they say early 90s, mid 90s, late 90s. So basically they are not saying exact figure. So for example, you have to say, if you have to say 100K, then you can say late 90,000 around, right? Or if you're saying 95K, then you're saying mid 90, right? And if you're saying 90K, then you're saying early 90 or late 80,000, right? So you, that way you're not putting, you are basically keeping scope of always $5,000 to $10,000 here and there, right? And you're not saying exact number, right? So I like this one. I didn't knew. While I was preparing, I learned about this. So that's how you can frame your range and numbers. Okay, I don't think you need anything else. So I think the main principle is, as I was saying, maintain a relationship. Okay, um, open and close each step with appreciation, enthusiasm. That first step, like they give you offer, so you're enthusiastic and you appreciate. You sometimes may behave naive, that I need some time to understand because I'm very new to this thing, this process, and I need to talk to my friend to understand the offer who are working in the area. You can be open and genuine. um, and also negotiate with the balance of satisfaction, and be integrate in, be honest what you're talking and genuine, and with all your regions, right? um, and also avoid miscommunication when negotiating. This is the most deadly killing thing happens during negotiating, is that something is miscommunicated and then whole thing falls apart, right? So if you think that you miscommunicated something, or if you think that something was not very clear, always reach out to them and clarify it, or ask the clarification. Okay, um, don't fear from that. So I think that's end of that discussion today, and I'm just stop sharing. And if you have any questions on any comment.
Pawan, can you just elaborate on the visa, asking for negotiating for a visa? Say, like if they are okay to sponsor us for H1B and we asking for a O1, or like how can we negotiate in asking them to sponsor for a green card, somewhere on that point of view?
Yeah, thank you, Asin. So for PhDs, H1B is not going to work out for you, because you have to clarify, because most of the time these HR, they don't know O1,
Mm-hmm.
so they know H1. So you have to say that for PhDs the best visa option is O1.
Mm-hmm.
And why? Because this is for highly skilled migrants, and this does not require lottery. This goes straight for that, right? And as I was saying, if you prepared already for O1, which means that you may have worked on your green card petition, so you have
Mm-hmm.
all things ready, right? So so you can always, you should first go for O1. And for the industry company, they don't mind doing O1 or H1. They want you on board as soon as possible, right? um, but they can come back to you and say that, O1, are you ready? There is a long process. You need, it's like a green card, right? You need a lot of
Mm-hmm.
letters as compared to H1, which is simple. So you need letters, recommendation. You have to draft a big, document and work with the lawyers. Um, so if you have filed your green card, or you are preparing for that you can say that, I have letters ready. I have worked on my
Mm-hmm.
profile, and I have things content ready, so we can do quickly. And then sometime what happens, if you ask for more money, then the HR comes back, say that we are spending money on your petition. Since you are international candidate, we have to spend money on your visa. um, and that's part of the offer, right? Because they are spending money to hire you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you can, you can say yes, I agree that we have to spend money, but at the same time I should not be penalized for being international candidate, right? So but at the same time you can ask that, can I request, if we are not able to negotiate others part of the offer, whether the company has the culture of sponsoring green card for international candidates, right? Just as an information, not to ask for decision, but information. And if say yes, if they say yes, yeah, we do sponsor green card, then you can say that, are we can we include that as a part of my offer,
Okay, yeah,
right?
that's
So that way you're not like, you're basically going step by step and asking things, rather than just saying that I need green card, can you give me the green card
yeah.
sponsorship. So and for them they don't mind, because as you understand, they are just doing their job, they are paid for it. So they the HR's job is to pay you less, then not pay you less, but they pay you optimal, but your job is to ask little more
More, yeah.
than others, because they don't want to underpay you, because they don't get that money back in their account, right, for not paying you. So but you have to ask for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, generally hiring managers don't talk to you because they don't understand actually more a lot of things here. They may have get hired 10 year 5 year before, and they may not be international candidate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else has any comments, question?
Hello.
Yeah.
So I think last week I got a response from a recruiter, and that was in San Diego, and they said that we will not pay for the relocation. And I saw that you are in St. Louis. Are you okay? Like in the process of application?
No, don't go. It's like $60,000, $50,000. Okay. If then why you should not go for it. I'll tell you the straight answer, no,
Okay.
because I'll tell you why. If they're not ready to pay for relocation, then why the hell they are talking to a person who is sitting in St. Louis, right?
Mhm.
This is insane, right? Same thing happened. I'm very open to it. So I was
Mhm.
talking to Genentech. So they initially said we'll pay you relocation, and they said, then later they said we'll not pay you relocation, and I said not gonna work, because company like you, are you not paying relocation for anyone in your company? Then I agree. But it's just for me you're not paying, I don't agree to you. So
Yes.
this is after after 3 months talking, right?
Yeah.
And then when I insisted, they come back and said I'll pay you $30,000 one time
Mhm.
relocation amount. I said this is not going to cover, because this is the cost of relocation.
Mhm.
I have done this research, and it cost me $50,000 in San Francisco. So they were like, oh no, yeah, I understand, but you have to manage. I have this budget issue, and I said, company is $20,000 is not a budget issue.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
So if somebody is saying that, then you should. I mean, if you are early stage, you can go ahead and talk, but you keep in your mind that you're not going to get
Mhm.
into that
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
situation,
Yeah.
because relocation is very costly.
Okay.
Relocation is highly costly in US, and if they're not flexible to pay relocation, then what is the point of working? Later they won't pay you bonus, increment, or
Mhm.
anything, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
There was also another case. It was maybe on Thursday. The recruiter called and said, "This was, I mean, this happened first time to me." They say, uh, "This is a very small company, and you will have a 2 round, and in the first round, all everybody will sit and discuss about the vision. The second will be like a one-to-one round." Okay, I said, okay, this is fine. But then they start when they talk about the salary thing, then they say, uh, based on my thought, they will pay like 115. So he was very sure about the specific number. So I said, I'm, I said, I'm not sure about 115, but of course it depends on the what I will like my responsibilities there. So based on my responsibilities, I will probably maybe this is okay or maybe this is not okay. But for now, I want to proceed for the interview, and we can discuss this point once I get the offer letter.
Yeah.
Did I said correctly or should
Yeah,
I?
yeah, yeah. I think it was fair. It was
Okay.
fair to
Yeah. Yeah.
when, especially when they say like a specific like amount, then you can say, yeah, all right, this sounds good, but I would want to, as I told you, like there are other part of the offer.
Mm,
Like maybe they're paying you this much, but what is their stocks? What is the sign-on bonus? What is the
exactly.
relocation? What is, you know? So you can say there is, as you understand better than me, that there is a lot of other things in the offer. So
Mm,
I don't think the base salary is going to be mattering a lot too
mm,
much. You
mm.
can differ, like okay,
Yeah.
so maybe you're paying me this much, but I want 30,000 stocks,
Mm,
right? So I want 20,000 sign-in bonus.
mm.
So what about those things, right? I want my relocation to be covered, right?
Yeah.
So there is a huge amount of money goes in all these aspect,
Mm,
or maybe location is also important, and cost of living, so many things you can say, and I'm still new to the market, and I it's hard for me to tell you exact figure, but
mm,
thank you for that. But I think that's the best way too. But
mm.
basically, when somebody talks to you about base salary, bring out other things, that okay, all right, but there are other things. So I don't think we at this point, this too early to discuss all that.
Yeah. Mm,
And as you understand, there is other part of offer, so
mm.
let's discuss when we reach to that point of
And and also, I mean, other recruiter, this there are when you talk like so many new things you learn. So another recruiter said, which company are you applying, or at which step are you in? Have you
yeah,
last step? So
yeah.
should I say about which company I'm
No, never did say that.
right? Yeah.
Never ever say
Yeah.
name the company name. So you can say that that's what I used to do. Every time I would say I'm very new to the job market. I just started applying. I have a couple of interview calls set up, but I have not yet spoken. I don't have any offer in the hand yet. So basically, you defer the question,
Okay.
and then say, if they say that at the end, do you have any? They're offering and they're asking you, you have another offer or something. Um, then at the end, you can say, yeah, I do have offer,
Okay.
and I'm comparing, and give me some time to compare and make decision. Okay, at the end, because that is helping you to leverage, like
Mm-hmm.
okay, even if you don't have it, you can say that,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I have the offer, but
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
comparing and seeing.
Okay.
So but not in the not in the
Yeah.
beginning. I did a mistake. So this guy from Boston, um, he pretended to be knowing my PhD boss. He worked in Broad Institute. My boss worked in Broad Institute, and then he became first familiar with me, like very friendly and familiar. Like I will give you guidance, mentorship to go through the job process. Though he is a hiring manager, huh? He's a director there, and he tried to be smart, and I got fooled, right? So I was sharing very honestly everything with him, that I'm talking to other companies, and this is going on, and this was a small company he was working, and I was talking to bigger companies. And I think he realized, so everything was done, I went through the whole process, offer was about to be made, and then he spoke with me 30 minutes, and then no offer came, right? Because they realized that they cannot compete with the companies, so they did not even make the offer. And what if I did not had any offer, right? So this is like I lost. I mean, nothing went wrong at my end, but in a situation when you have limited options, then you don't want to lose the options, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So they do it. They take it as a, they try behaving cunning, and they try to manipulate, and do all this. So never, then I learned never ever disclose what you're talking, what stage you are. You just say early, still talking, no setup, just talk maybe one round, but still they are taking some more time. So this is the only company with you whom I proceeded faster. Thank you so much for this. So so you close with thank you so much. I really like the way you people move and operate. This is quick decision making. I really like it. And you change the whole conversation to appreciate them, and they cannot say no, we are not good. So, so yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
a lot of experiences you will go through.
Yeah,
Like
it's a lot of experience.
there was one company like I spoke with around 30 companies like over 3 months. Like I was
Yeah.
speaking like crazy, and create a seat, and I have a seat where I keep all the steps, how much,
Yeah.
when did I talk, whom I talked, because many times you don't remember whom did you talk
Exactly.
to. Always on the phone call, always ask the name and note down the name, and go on LinkedIn and search this person. And if you see that this person is there, connect to them, so that in future if you have to go back, you can just
Yeah.
search out. um, if it is email, you have trail, but even on the phone call it's really hard,
It's-
uh, especially with these third party companies. Like they they generally just call you, they don't email you or anything. And they are talking to hundreds of people like every day. So that's, I think, a lot of experience will come through. Like they're they're in foundation. I talk to foundation medicine. um, so HR scheduled my interview. Then another hiring manager, director, reached out to me over LinkedIn, over email. We had a conversation. We set up conversation interview without telling HR. So we went ahead and talked without HR was not involved. And then when I reach out to HR, and then I told that this person has reached out and spoke with me, then they become a conflict, that because another team was about to talk to me, this person talked to me, and then it never proceeded, because then it became like
Yeah.
mesh, right? So you'll get into that situation, like, and I cannot negate this person because this person is a hiring manager, so I need to talk to this person. So but that's the problem with their process. So I also learned that there is a crazy thing going on in administration of the company. Like they don't have a proper process, who will talk to whom and when, how, right? And I understood, okay, so this is crazy. So another person told me that we will sponsor your visa, then did not respond me for through 2 to 3 weeks, and then after that, at the end, he reached out, he emails me and calls me and says that sorry, we cannot sponsor your visa. First say yes, then say no. So that happens. You just want one job, and you just want one position, but you will go through a lot
All the-
of experiences, and this is helpful in a way to understand. Always whenever you're talking to anyone or any company, first thing I do, I will connect to that person on LinkedIn, then connect to couple of people working in that company on LinkedIn in that same area where I'm talking to, so that if I have to reach out to someone in future, I can just I connected today, after a week I can reach out
Okay.
and ask, I'm talking, I needed some help, to understand or talk. Somebody is kind, they may respond, but at least to know, some people is always helpful, especially executive or senior people. If something goes wrong in your process, you can always reach out to executive. Then, like, if you know that you're gonna mess up anyways, then you can mess up the next person. That why did you waste my time? Like, then you can reach out on LinkedIn and say that, this person, recruiter from your company, is doing this to me. Anyways, I'm not gonna proceed, but I just wanted to let you know this is happening. This should not happen to anyone else, right? So I did couple of times to some people, like giving a lesson that don't mesh up with people. Just because I'm looking for a job, I'm not disposed to mistreatment, or you expect me to be honest, but you want to be smart, right? So so yeah, it happened. It happened. Like, but that's where I think the knowledge, the information, knowing is helpful. Yeah. A lot of stories you will have. It's like careers, like job
Yeah.
search stories could be a session.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but enjoy it. You'll say, just take it as a one by one thing
Yeah.
at a time. Yeah. Anybody else has any questions or comments? Hey,
So
Kadir
no
bhai.
problem. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good. So I have two questions.
Yes. Oh,
First is like
yeah.
suppose in the first transition, if we're joining some small company or if, fresh startups, and so and after that we are just planning to move bigger industry. Is that possible or is that we?
It is possible, but if you have to always relative comparison, right? So
Right.
moving from a big company to a small company is easier, right? It's like up down approach, right? So big company you want to have someone from, sorry, small companies you want to have someone from big companies because you have a lot of experience of bigger level of things, right? And you have a small company to big company is happens, it happens, right? It's common, but the process may not be that easier, right? So basically you may have to justify a lot, right?
Yeah.
And about your worth, your skill set, and a lot of things. But from big company to small, they understand that they are doing at a small scale, they don't have experience, they may be trying to expand to bigger scale, the smaller one trying to expand to bigger scale, and someone from big companies would be helpful to help them to set up the process, set up the, understand the things, and you may have better contacts out there because you work in bigger level organization, right? So yeah, I don't think it's challenging, but it's bit different experience. I have not done it, but I can tell you, like, um, that's my understanding. I have not asked anyone, I have not spoken with anyone that whether how easy or difficult it is, but it helps you a lot, right? So I would say first try big companies. I know it's challenging, it's highly competitive, and
Yeah.
it's, so basically I would say, like, create a list of 10 big companies in your area or field
Mhm.
of work you're looking for. Apply all of them, try all the ways. Apply via portal, apply via LinkedIn, connect to people from LinkedIn, ask for referrals, keep trying that. At the same time, if you get opportunities and you're getting from mid-level or on a small scale or startup, continue that discussion. So that way you are moving parallel. So if you, even if you have 2 3 job interviews from big companies also give you a lot of experience of how to go through the job process, because they have very nicely structured job, recruitment process, interview process. So you learn about the bigger, like, how people are hired in Apple or Amazon or Sanofi or bigger Genentech, Illumina. They have very streamlined process, but the startups will not have the streamlined process, and one may miss the learn the process, right? That how things go, right? And how to talk to whom, to talk to who make decisions. So I used to keep parallel, going parallel. The advantage is that big companies will not have hesitancy to sponsor your visa, your green card, your relocation. Like, all the things I talked is already, like, streamlined. You don't have to think about it, it's automatic comes. But in startups you may have to ask for everything, because they don't have a setup or the process in place, right? So that those are some of the challenge while you are getting on there. But otherwise, small companies gives you better position, good leadership skills, good package, stocks, flexibility in working, because they don't have any process, so you can be flexible, much of, like, try your own way. Lot of leadership opportunities and learning a lot of new things, developing a lot of new things is at a startup. But in the bigger level you are like part of a big project and you're just doing your small part and forget about bigger level, you don't understand. But here in startups you understand bigger level, you also working with people, there are people working for you, right? So That's how I'm trying to, nowadays understanding how things working in different space.
And the second question is that it's suppose if anyone has the offer from normal companies, and but he assumed that he will get some position in future in bigger companies. So should that person go ahead with the presently he has the offer from small companies, right? So he has the job offer right now. So he should go ahead with this job offer, or he should decline and go ahead with the bigger companies. You know
Yeah,
what?
I'm getting your point. So, what happens when you're talking to small companies? They go fast. The process goes very fast, and they may make you offer within 1 month. Like they have an offer now into your plate, and bigger companies take their time, like 3 month, 4 month. Yeah, because they have everybody has to be available to interview, and then they have a decision making process, and so I have been that situation. First of all, I can tell you. So the way you do it, if you don't have any other offer and you have offer from a small company, you accept the offer, start the immigration, the visa, and if you have by the time, because visa takes time, like it may take 2 months, or preparing itself takes time at our level. Like if it is a visa related, then you can buy time, and you can reject the offer even if the visa is approved. You may not join because your job does not start till the time you join, actually start your day in the company. And it's uncommon people do it, but until unless it's highly critical that you have to do it, you do it. Otherwise, you just want to have your options open. You don't want to close your other option. While you make these decisions, maybe you realize that a small company is good for me, the people are nice, the work culture is nice, and idea is to just get started and then decide, like later, that okay. But don't, I would say, I used to not do too much of these, because it puts a lot of mental stress, right, on the brain. Like, I'm doing this and it's not good. If they come to know, I will lose both of them, because you never know if somebody's friend or father, right? A small company may have a friend in bigger companies, and they're like, I'm talking to this guy. And he's, HR also talk to each other, right? So, so if that gets disclosed, then it's rare, but uh, I would say no, accept it, move on. If you think that it's 90%, 80% is what you want, and there is no limit, I would say, for better, and there is no limit. I mean, there could be limit for worse, but there is no limit for better, right? So so there's something like minimum criteria, like city, the salary, the job, and the culture, the people. Your hiring manager is nice or not, like they're very flexible or not. Your career growth, like you can think and see people how they're promoted in that company, how they're getting promoted, how often they're getting promoted. Like it takes 5 years to get promotion, or it takes 2 year or 1 year, right? So based on LinkedIn, you can search for a couple of employee with same job profile and see how they are working. And everybody can't be like not be good to get promoted, right? So yeah.
So we can. Is it okay to discuss the promotions stuff also? Because
No,
suppose
no,
no, it's not okay.
no. You can ask only that what is the average annual increment in the company, and most of the time it's company wide. Like they have like 10%, 8 to 10% for certain level of jobs. Then there is a 10 to 15% increment every year for some other level of job within the company. But they have a very fixed, bigger level, very fixed bracket. A smaller level, you will always have leverage to negotiate that out. But no, don't get into it. But that's too far, right? It's too far to discuss and tell anything. Otherwise, that gives the negative impression. Like,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. So I think I was saying that maybe you guys can open your cameras. This is gonna be last session, and the last one after this is like decision making, which are a lot of things we discussed today. So we will have another session to conclude it, to close it. Probably, I'll request everyone to join. And I was saying that if you like, you have been gone through, I think all the content is there, everything is there. But it's still, if you're going through the process, and if you have like, you're reaching to a point like where you're not able to make decision, or you're confused and you're like not going well, then you can reach out to me that, okay, this is a situation I'm going through, and how to make decision, how to think through. It would remain open, for you in future. Like, I may take some time, like reply over weekend, or my time see and not respond, but we'll find out time to just a small phone call, talk to you, and just help you to process those energy, positive or negative, whatever you have. Because that both are difficult to handle. You're over enthusiastic, or you're like confused. So I think that's with that we will close for today. And I know that a lot of people are talking, or interviewing, so hopefully you guys get something out of it. And if you need, as I said, any help, anything, anywhere, like now anywhere, I mean, is like, now you prepare your LinkedIn, your CV, everything almost is, the process, right? Now once you start getting calls, and you can pose confusing situations, like, okay, this person talking this person, no, I don't know what to do, how to do. So I don't know whether I should reply to this person or not, how long I should wait, right? These are the very tricky questions and tricky responses, right? So I think those things, you can try reach out to me privately over Slack or email, and or LinkedIn, anywhere. Like, I'm very quick on LinkedIn and Slack also. So I think that would, and you will go through it, I can tell you. Like, people who are going through, they know every day is challenging. Like, you get a new call, you exactly don't know what to do with this person, and you don't want to say no or yes, anything. So, like, let's close it here. It's being 1.5 hours now. And so the next one, I think, with concluding session, we will, let's see when I would want to schedule. I'll try to reach out to everyone, because I think only 7-8 people have been joining from last many sessions. So I don't know what's going on with other people. Maybe they're watching. So we will take, I will take a couple of month break. I'm not going to do this, and then maybe like start, because I understand that it's very energy taking, and it's too much work. So we'll do that conclusion, and then yeah. So next panel discussion, I think couple of are remaining. So next one is coming with immigration with lawyers, and yeah, I think Ashwin is gonna be moderating that. I'll speak with him. But if any one of you want to get involved, get in the volunteering process, and work with me and in Nice Team Care anywhere, just let me know. There are a lot of opportunities to kind of get involved and get build your skill. I'll tell you, the more at the end, the whole job process, the talking is the main thing. If you can talk properly and present things and speak very clear, you get 20% more salary and better job at better companies, because people love people who can talk, present, and speak. They are not looking for typical scientific personality. They are looking for someone presentable. So the way you build it is by doing it, right? So you continually start doing little bit here and there, expose yourself to the external world, right? Beyond your lab, beyond your friendship, beyond your small ecosystem you are living. when you expose it to it, then your fear of talking, fear of speaking with a new person, fear of making friends, say fear of communicating goes down. It goes down, right? So just as a personal advice, that don't think that doing all these things is not gonna help you. It's gonna help you immensely across. Otherwise, why would I waste my time on Saturdays, Sundays working on iSTEM care? And why still, even after getting the job, I'm doing it? Because I know that it's gonna help me in future, and in some or other way. Maybe I don't know now, but maybe who knows, right? Who knows in future when you need these skill set, right? So I think that with that, let's close it out. And yeah, thank you so much for joining, and let's keep it. I'll find a time for concluding session, and that's gonna be fun. And then wrap it up. Anything if you have, just reach out. Okay, Ankita want to say something.
I'm just hearing. I'm going to a lot of things, but maybe I'll talk to you personally sometime. But I really need your help.
Okay.
But I'll mail you. I'll mail you as soon as possible, and we'll talk to you in
Yes,
more
yes.
detailed way.
No problem. Yeah, no problem. I mean,
Thank you so much, Pawan.
no, yeah, I understand. I'm telling you, with my experience with all of you, if you think that you can do yourself without talking to anyone, like the problem is that we have been taught to be secretive, and which is good, but you need at least one person with whom you can speak and just say everything.
Correct.
And then just
Correct.
about
Correct.
and not being judgmental, not being person not gonna use your information of something in future in a wrong way or right way, whatever. And fortunately I had those people, and I don't know how they came in my life, and still they are now friend. And even if I'm at my job, I talk to them. Oh, the new place, I'm facing this difficulty with this person, and and how to deal with it, how to go through it, right? This is not working out. My manager is not doing this better with me. How to deal? Because we are very new to this culture first, and then industry. There are two level, right? So culturally we are different. In US there are different meaning of different places and different culture, right? And then academia to industry, the work culture transition. So that's also different. So people may misunderstood, or we may be overdoing things, right? Overdoing, like, and so that happens. Like, even if you are to get into job, then sustaining the job is another challenge. And being successful in the job is like another level of challenges, right? Like, it's like a postdoc. You got a postdoc at MIT, and you felt, oh, everybody is praising, oh, you got MIT. But after 2 months we are in depression, because you realize that even if it's MIT, what worth that I'm not feeling well, I'm not confident, I'm not able to communicate, I'm not right. So my boss is crazy, I have to work Saturday, Sunday. So you remember the Sina, I think I just wanted to one point about last session went haywire, like we did not discuss. He went
Yeah.
off track. Okay. And that's why I shared another presentation as a resource for all of you. So but still, if you have any question about O1 visa, or you're kind of planning or doing, or you're planning to file petition or anything, let me know, personally. I think I would be happy to reply to you and
Mhm.
kind of give you support, because I understood, like, it's hard to control other people. It went very off track, and I was like trying to insist, and I don't do it. But he was like, no. And he was saying one of the thing I remember, acculturation, right? First you're excited, then you're frustrated, then you're trying to adjust, and then you survive, right? Same thing in the job search. Like, you're excited, then you're like frustrated, then you're you know how to do, and then you're excited. Okay, now I got it finally. So yeah, thank you. Sorry, I'm speaking too much, but okay. All right, guys. Yeah, let's take a break. I maybe still staying with Ashwin. I have to talk about the panel discussion, but other people take rest. Good night. Kadir is just woke up. Okay. See you guys. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pawan. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good day, Pawan.
Yeah. Thank you.